3 silver stainless steel packages of the extruder and the discs. You get an additional package.
Now this is so much fun because these are the shapes, right?
These are the shapes. So this one, these are, see how big these are? The big the holes are? These big holes will allow you to make hollow beads with this last thing, which is the hollow core extruder.
Oh!
So these...
You can make sterling silver, or excuse me, fine silver findings with this, the beads, like you spend a lot of money for. Now you can make all of that yourself.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's great.
So, but you can't make it, the extruder can't be done with a real teeny little hole. So you need these big ones to do. So the...
and you know what I think it reminds me of, and I know everybody, and we're going to show you how this works. I love all the fun shapes and the fun things. I mean, you've got like a little clover, a cross, a half moon, all these fun shapes. And I'll tell you why I think's cool about this, because the first thing I thought, the only thing that could make art clay more fun for me, which I don't know how it could get much more fun, I said I would love, I had my favorite toy as a child, was this thing they called like the Fun Factory. And I would take my clay or my dough and put it in this, and it would shoot out ribbons of shapes.
Right.
This is a similar type of tool, except it's professional because it's used for, and I think that is incredible. And that makes things so much easier to do. I mean, it makes it so much easier. Now look, and this includes 20 grams of your slow, dry silver, art clay silver to go with it, which is about a $45 value. That's included. That's basically like a bonus. And look at the pretty things you made with this.
Well, I didn't make tons and tons of things, but what I did make are things that you normally can't do with metal clay because it's really difficult to roll teeny tiny little spaghetti type things here. And the braiding I did by extruding there's a disc with 4 little holes in it, and you use that one. So I'm going to demonstrate how to do the spaghetti ones. What are angel hair?
And you know, I had a really hard time, remember, because I couldn't get the little, for me, get the little air pockets or whatever out of my clay. So this is going to make it so much easier.
This makes it a whole lot easier. And this other piece here, whoops, that's done, this one here was done with the extruder as well. So
look at that. So these are all like individual
These are all individual little things. So let's go to it.
Okay.
This is stainless steel, okay, patent pending.
Love it. I'm very excited. I'm ordering this as soon as the show's over.
And you can see inside that there is, I'm going to get it so you can see. There we go. You can see that there's a space inside. So when you twirl it, it pushes the barrel down and pushes your stuff out. And when you undo it, it leaves a nice big space there for you to put your clay. Okay. So now I have my opening.
Okay.
Next, I'm going to pick a disc, and to do this one here, okay, like the angel hair. Okay, I'm going to use the angel hair disc.
Oh.
And that's an angel hair disc.
This is great.
So I'm going to put the disc aside because I want to put the clay in there first. So let me I got too much stuff around here than
I know, and I know. And in the meantime, while she's looking for that, I'm going to tell you, that we are down to about 48 or so left on the big kit. If you want to get the beginner's deluxe kit, that includes, my gosh, 60 grams. That includes, of course, the syringe and the paste in your silver, in your art clay silver. Go for it. But now look at all of the pieces that were created here. That was created with the extruder. So just think. Now, you always wondered as a child when you played with that favorite toy that again, you used your clay or your dough and you shot out those different shapes. You thought, what am I going to do with this after I've gotten all these shapes done? Well, we're going to make beautiful jewelry with it, with the art clay, and those beautiful pieces you saw that like braided, you think of Italian rope. Imagine being able to do that with silver with this tool. That's what's so great about it, and they're going to be perfect and even every single time. Now,
okay, let me show you this.
Got the clay ready so you can
I've got the clay. Now, what I do is I take my finger in my olive oil, and I'm just going to put a little olive oil in here. Okay, lubricate it a little bit. Clay goes in.
Okay.
Then. Now that I put olive oil on everything.
I know, then you're slipping.
Like, I can't even pick it up now.
I'm going to get it. My nails.
There we go.
That's even better.
Okay, so I'm putting this inside, putting this right on top, screwing it down very sturdily there. I know.
I'm loving it. No, I'm excited.
I know. I've got to.
Because this fun part's coming.
Get right here, so I've got some place to put it on. Now, look how easy this is.
Watch, y'all. Go down, go down, go down. Is it right? Is it coming out?
Coming out.
Look. Down there. Look, I'm sorry, I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, you're like a little kid.
It is like pasta.
And this is a lot of clay. I mean, obviously you don't need to actually do all this clay. But
My favorite toy as a child. I'm serious.
I know. So look at all of this.
That is great.
Each one is a piece of silver. Now what I can do is just turn it.
Look. What, this
Manipulate
is so awesome.
it. What I want, I could knot it if I wanted. That would be cool.
Is that awesome?
And now, if you can follow me, I'm just going to give you suggestions. That's why I'm not making anything like permanent, because there's so many things you can do. And because this is slow dry clay, I'm just taking my finger and just, putting a little water on it just so that it doesn't dry out too often. But it won't. It'll stay nice and moist for quite a while. But I can do it that way, and then pinch these ends to put screw eyes in them, or holes for wires. Or I could take this like I did.
Like that?
Just like this, where this is.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just pull these out.
And I'll tell you, when you start working with the art clay silver, that was the thing I had a hard time with. Remember, I'd roll it and it kept breaking. With this, you're not going to have that problem.
No, you're not going to have that problem.
It just makes it really professional and makes it look perfect every single time. We're going to give you 90 seconds and that's it. And my goodness, and that's just the beginning. You've got like a clover shape in here.
We've got clover shapes in here. We've got a thing that you don't even need. I wanted to do a hollow, to show them a hollow form real quick.
If we've got time, we will. If not, we'll probably try to save it for the last hour, because frankly, everything that you've got is selling out. It's so crazy. The book is still selling like crazy. This, look at the different shapes. Just imagine the fun, from charms to beads to, again, creating the perfect braid and rope for your pieces to frame. I mean, you could go on and on.
This is a hollow bead.
Adorable.
Okay. And what I want to show you is I'm going to put it on the flat of my hand.
Look, is that awesome? Do you see?
And what I wanted to show you is the hole. You see the hole at the end? And on the side, it's a square bead. Now, it doesn't have to be square. It can be any of these shapes.
You know what's great about that? That liver of sulfur, you could almost get that Balinese look.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That would be incredible.
It's one of the perfect ways of using it. Now, what I would do would be to take the square. Now, this is not to do this bead. This is to do the, can you show the jewelry up at the top here on the table?
Yeah, if you could see, because I want you to see all the things that she made. Right, oh, that?
Yeah,
that. Is fabulous.
That's what I did with this right here.
This is awesome.
So with this, there we go. That's the finished.
Look at that.
That's the finished jewelry. So all I did was create a square, long square tube, kind of like a stainless steel tube for construction. And you just twisted it. I just twisted it.
I see.
And then dried it.
And that would be something. And let me just tell you right there, that piece, which I think I think I could do that with this tool. Let me just tell you, would go for hundreds of dollars right now with the price of silver where it is, and to think that's one of the many things. I mean, you let your imagination run wild. They've given you all these different shapes. You just go crazy. I mean, from doing really cute little discs that you could stamp.
Okay.
I mean, you could go on and on, right? I'm using, Margot gave me all these great ideas, and I am buying this today. We have about 180 of these left, and that's it. And I'm already sold just based on the fact I could never roll it and make it perfect, but with this I'll be able to.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if our bale is dry yet.
I'm going to that right now.
We're going to check on that, but in the meantime, you keep calling in on the extruder, and we're excited.
You know, and I keep seeing this this cartoon character in my head with a superhero in a cape and an extruder in his hand. Brick has been used, I would say, probably for at least a year or two, and you can see how long it's lasted.
Oh,
so
gosh.
it doesn't. It's not something that's going to crumble or deteriorate real quickly. So okay, so here's the torch that comes in the kit, and I am going to fill it with butane. One, to show you how, and two, to make sure that it's full, because I don't want this to run out in the middle of firing this upside down.
This is so fun.
Now listen for the change. Hear that?
Yep, I did.
That was the change. That will tell you that it's full. Okay? So, turn it on, and it's got a safety-proof, it's got a child-proof lock in the back, which I like.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
So you have to push that down. There you go.
See the flame? Here we go.
Okay, now it's real bright in here, guys. So
but you can still see it. There we go. We'll get down a little bit lower so you can see. But watch what happens to this.
Okay. The smoke, that's the binder burning away. And remember, it's non-toxic. It's a cellulose-based, which is like paper. Of course, if you have a respiratory problem and you need to wear a mask, that's what you do. You do what is expected for your own individual person. I don't. I'm fortunate enough to have good lungs so far, so I don't. And that's it. I mean, you will see it maybe for 10, 15 seconds. And then it just goes white. Now what you have to do is you have to find that color, that peach color that's going to tell you that you're at the sintering temperature. You cannot begin timing until you get that peachy color. And I can guarantee you that this is it.
That's it?
Yeah. Can you see it?
I think, yeah, I see a little bit of a peach undertone to it. Let's make sure.
Okay, yeah, 2 minutes.
Right there, I see it. 2 minutes from this very second, we're going to time it, y'all. Let's see. Can you time it for me? Who's got to watch?
No, it's being timed.
Okay, good.
Everybody, we've got 15 people timing it.
Okay, good, that's great. Don't let me
No.
time it.
No. And it was funny because when I was firing all the stuff, I had little charms and I was firing them in Nashville, and it was so bright that I kept almost melting them. And I told everybody, I said, don't worry, it's not going to be like this, because normally people don't have like 8,000 watt lights. Yeah. You know, all these halogen lights and everything.
So that's how you tell. You get that glow that we're seeing.
Once you get the glow, then you can time it. Normally it's 2 minutes. If it's about 10 grams, it's 2 minutes.
Okay. That's easy to remember. And that's all in the book. That's all in the video. So.
It shrank 8 to 10%. Most people can't even see it. So it's not like you have to, really make it huge because it's going to be so much smaller. It's not. 8 to 10% is not a whole lot. When you're making rings, you have to make things a size and a half, American size and a half, because it'll shrink that much. But for here, I'm just keeping it this distance, this temperature. If you get too close and it looks like it's going to shine or be shimmering, that means it's too hot, it's going to melt, you pull back. If you lose your glow, you go forward. So your distance is determining how hot your piece really is.
And this is going to blow your mind, because to me, once it's fired, it's one thing, but when you polish it after it's fired is what just flips me out.
I always told them that I thought that they made this on purpose so that it would be white after they fired it, so you'd have to brush it and everybody would go, oh my God, it's silver. So I think they did that on purpose.
Well, it's amazing. I'm going to tell you, it is amazing, because I would have never thought in a million years, especially that fast, because this has been, you think we've been sitting here, what, about 15, 20 minutes to have something truly turn into silver, and you've created a piece of jewelry. That's amazing.
One thing I need to tell women, especially because most professional jewelers are men. And I always wondered, why was that? Well, you know why? It's because it's such a hard, terribly...
leave it there. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You got to listen.
Oh, yes, sorry. Apologize. I said, don't miss the shine.
Because if you can... Christian?
Thank you.
Just so I don't have any room on my
so
work surface. So anyway, I'm going to brush it now. The reason it's white is not because there's a coating. The reason it's white, yes, it's cool because I put it in the water. The reason it's white is because the silver particles are standing straight up. They're not brushed. They're not compressed. They're not aligned in any way. It's like raw silver. If you start to brush, when you start to brush, you find that you get the silver suddenly. You get your silver color coming up.
This is most fun. Now watch. Did you see the shiny?
It's definitely, it used to be clay, and now it's 99.9 fine silver. So as I brush this, you can just see.
Is that awesome?
And this is what's called a matte finish. This isn't shiny, because you haven't really done any polishing yet. You've just brushed it. But this is matte. And if you use a stainless steel, or whether you use brass brush that some people use, it works the same.
And turn that around. Let's turn that around and let them see it. Is that, okay, that's the same piece. Okay, tell me, are you not just, that's what sold me. That is the most fun, the most, to me, rewarding part when I was doing this was.
But wait, there's more.
And there's